What is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Gemini Berserker, and welcome to something that I feel like needs to be talked about. I don't typically do, not gonna say serious topics, but I don't really dive too in depth about certain things, especially in fighting games or what have you, even though I want to, and I want to do more of that to get more people to play fighting games. I really enjoy fighting games. It's probably one of my favorite genres to actually play. But as you guys can see, or not really, maybe. So it has nothing to do with the footage. This footage is old. It's from when I was in Demon. So, but let's get into the meat and potato of the topic of why tier lists exist in fighting games and why it's probably as far as genres of games is concerned, probably one of the most important aspects of fighting games is a tier list. Now, you guys I know what you guys are gonna say. Well, you don't play high tiered characters, and you don't necessarily. You even made the video saying about that guy who said your game is not fair. Now, granted, you would be right in making that statement, but I do believe that tier lists hold a very specific part in the fighting game community, or SGC. Now, the purpose of that is to show who's the strongest. Like, literally, that's what it's for. Who's the strongest, who's the weakest, and why it matters. So, if you're just a casual player, right? You don't necessarily play a lot of ranked. You just run into casual matches, or you just play with your friends, right? That doesn't matter to you, right? But if you are a person who plays ranked or actually goes and plays competitively or is trying to play competitively, this matters. Why? Because let's just say, for instance, more specifically for Dragon Ball FighterZ, right? The reason the tier lists change and why it changes so much is because people get buffed, people get nerfed, right? So, like, for instance, if someone competitively, seriously competitively, was running a team of Ginyu, Nappa, and Fat Boo, right? Which I've never seen, but there's probably somebody out there that plays that team. That person doesn't have necessarily the best chance of winning. And I'm not saying it has nothing to do with skill or character knowledge, right? It has just to do with how the characters play. All three of those characters can't really control neutral at the highest degree, compared to, let's just say, your UIs or Red Gogetas or Base Gokus. They don't have that good neutral. They don't have the basic damage output. They don't have a lot of tools that allow these characters to be strong. Like, for instance, GT Goku was a hell of a strong character in season 2, and he got nerfed, and now he's not as strong anymore. And maybe people will still play him. Maybe a lot of competitive players do still play him, or a lot of competitors don't. But the point is that tier lists exist in fighting games in general for a reason. Especially if you're looking to go competitive. If you're looking to go competitive, I would say look at a tier list. Look up tier list for whatever game you're trying to get into, because it's gonna matter. You don't want to travel. You don't want to travel to any event where you're paying money for a hotel, you're paying money for the venue, you're paying money to enter. It's not good for you, especially when money's on the line, right? No one wants to show up to a tournament. I don't think Sonic Fox ever shows up to a tournament, or fucking Goichi, or fucking any competitive player shows up to any event and is yeah, no, I'm cool with losing, I'm cool with going 0-2 because I wanted to just play my favorite characters. Now, there is nothing wrong with playing your favorite characters. By any means, I am not saying don't play your favorite characters. I'm saying play as if you wanted to win. Now, I'm not like I said, I don't necessarily respect UI players, but I understand why people play UI. I understand that you want to win. I understand that you don't want to just be out here twiddling your thumbs or playing with your dick, right? You actually want to get out here, win, and make something of yourself. I get it. And that's what I'm saying. The flip side of that is you have people who want to play their favorite characters, right? And then you have people who only are trying to play the strongest characters. Yet again, nothing wrong with that. Forge your own path, right? Like, and that's the argument like a lot of people will have is that, oh, I'm tired of seeing UI, I'm tired of seeing triple fusion. Granted, I'm tired of seeing it too, but I can't, if, like I said, if you're trying to go competitive and you're trying to actively, you know, be out here and prove that you're the best, I can't say, but you know what? He's doing his thing, right? He, she, y'all are doing your thing, right? It's a very hard argument, especially for a lot of people who will swear up and down like, no, there shouldn't be a meta. Bro, as long as there are tier lists and as long as there are characters who do things better than other characters, there's always going to be a meta. Always. Doesn't matter what game you're playing. Doesn't matter if it's StarCraft, Call of Duty, fucking doesn't matter if it's fucking League, whatever. There's always a meta to a game because certain characters do things better or have better options than other characters. And that's just how it is. That's just how things are. Right? I'm not saying anything like, granted, one of my homies plays UI. He committed to the bit too long. He's stuck with him. Like, and he knows I don't particularly like UI. No, I don't think anyone really particularly was like, oh yeah, UI is definitely my favorite character. I'm definitely gonna play this guy because he's really my favorite character. I don't personally think that there is a single, there might be just one. There might just be one. But I don't believe that in all of Dragon Ball FighterZ and all the people playing it across Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and Switch, that there is a single person that is playing UI that is just doing it because they really like the character, or like everyone recognizes that UI is a really strong character. I don't think there's not a single person that just is like, nah, UI is a really weak character. I don't really like playing him because he doesn't really have many options. That motherfucker has every option. This is how it is, you know? But like I said, at the end of the day, people are gonna say who they like playing versus what characters are actually strong, you know? It's not, and it's a really hard thing to talk about because people don't like to hear it. That's like a thing that people don't like to hear. People don't want to respect it, and that's just unfortunately how the fighting game community is. Like, I made a video like years ago talking about like certain aspects of the FGC, and I'm probably gonna actually do another one after this, maybe, depending on how this does. But this is one of those unfortunate things that, you know, is a part of the culture of fighting games, is tier lists and high tiers, mid tiers, low tiers, bottom tiers. Like, there's nothing wrong with, you know, if you want to play your favorite character, right? There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to play the best character, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to just play a character because they're fucking a gimmick character or they're just a troll character, that's fine. But at the end of the day, like, competitively speaking, you as a player, no matter how high tier you are, how good you are, you can always lose to the second or third best motherfucker in the room solely because he's running the best characters. Like, doesn't matter how much time I put in on Ginyu, like, at the end of the day, if I run into, like, even a pro player or even somebody like slightly under me that maybe has a little less game sense or just character knowledge that's playing UI, more times out of 10, like, I might lose that fight just because just because they have a stronger character than mine. That's just how it is. Like, you know, I'm not saying, like I said, I personally don't respect UIs, and y'all know this. But at the end of the day, characters, as long as there exists stronger characters, there's always gonna be a meta game to be played, right? That's just how it is. But unfortunately, that's just how it rolls. But I appreciate you guys for watching. Hopefully, you know, we can talk about this more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.